to another Raid Shadow Legends stream. Sorry about the disturbance in the intro, but that's just fun between brothers.
Yeah, good luck. Have a nice stream, everybody.
See you later.
See you later.
Good luck with
Every pack something you're gonna have.
I'm going to open this, have a shard opening in the end of the video. Welcome to another, as I said, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends stream. My name is Tasta, Legend of Shadows. And that was my brother, Ray. Today we are going to just play the daily and the advanced quest and see if we get them all this time. And we are just gonna have some fun playing Raid. We are also gonna have a shard opening video in the end of the video to try to get either the last 4 rares I need. I don't think we will be that lucky. I hope we're more lucky to get 1 epic. So I might get to fuse Pelops in the end of the video. I have been in, so I have claimed my daily logins. I have done the first daily quest with buy from the market. Let's log in, let's claim our 20 minutes rewards, and then we are going to buy some champions. To get some points for the champion chase that's not going on, like I said last on my main account. On the charger opening we are going to open today, I'm hoping we are a bit more lucky than we were on my main account last night. We have something to open. We have 11 agent shards, 9 void shards, 4 primal shards, and 5 secret shards. If I'm hoping for the epic, I'm hoping I'm getting it from the secret shards. We might get really lucky to get a mythical in the primal shards, but I don't think so. The only place we can get the rare is here from the void shards. We might get the epic here, there, and here. Not there though. But because I'm missing 4 sentinels or 1. What's his name? Let's see. Diox. Because I can fuse 2 of these. Because I have 8. So just have to do what we can. I have 6 hours left to fuse, or 5 hours and 54 minutes to fuse Pelops. Now we're just going to do our dailies and our advance. So we are going to fight in the classic arena first. That's 1. That will be 2. We might also get so lucky that we get enough XP to get to level 42, so we can open the soul merchant, so we can put on the 5-star soul on Ezio. If we are lucky today, we get enough XP to do it. Nope, that's 5. Since we are on 59%, we might get to level 52 with the XP today. Let's hope we do that. Now we're gonna summon 3 mystery shard champions. We got a common, uncommon barbarian. Her name is Crusher. Navigator from the Secret Order, and we are full, so we need to remove some.
Brother,
Yeah.
can you mute for a second?
Be right back. I'm sorry for the delay, and I will be back as fast as I can. But my wife has needs some help, so I'm will be back as fast as I can, and hope you all can enjoy just the music. Be right back.
Gå här kanten. Ja, går.
I'm back. I'm really sorry. She really did need my help, so I'm really sorry for that. The stream has been almost an hour with nothing happened. But I'm back now. Let's buy some champs. Yeah, that was what. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do him. Just do it. Yup. Just go there. So let's keep buying champions. I did see we have an ancient shard here in the market too. That was only help. We need to summon one more champion. That's that. Upgrade an artifact. And win campaign battle 7 times. We're going to do Diabolis. That's all. this? Nope. Three. Four. That's five. That was six. And that's 7, and we got the abolish too. And trees are we going to keep? Because she is one of the best rares. In the games. That's a bad champion training. Crap on resilience artifact. Defense. Fight tag team arena with a team from single. Fight in tag team arena with a team from single affinity. That we already have, I think. Yeah, we got it here. I want to be first now. And I hope to get an easy one. Let's do 78. Let's see if we can do it. That was that done. Use 3 glyphs. haven't used to. That was 3. Next is place 50 debuffs on the Demon Lord. Can be. Let's claim first. Next, use 5 silicate. I can't do it. Then we're going to do 4 more here. They're rare from the Cassandra fusion. one more. And that was 5. Okay, I can't do. Let's do 3 finites. One. Two. 50 a third. And that's 3. And we have keys. We have undead horde and orcs. Orcs. Four keys. Six. And let's go back to undead and see if we have something we can use there. That was 6. Let's I don't have equipment on them. That's 6. Wait, no, not 6, 8. It will be 10. Sorry about that. And this will be 12. That was 12 keys. Now we only have one Demon Lord key left. Before we are going to open some shards and see if we are lucky. Okay, now maybe the fun starts. I'm going to open all my charts. Gonna hate this, but I'm going to do it. Start with. Let's make some space first. Okay. I'm also going to start recording so we can put the shard over the video on my channel. Let's start with the 12 Ancients. The primals we are going to end with because of the chance of a mythical. So let's start with the first 2. I'm going to open one at a time of every one here. So no 10 pulls. Number 1. We got the rare, and we got Corpulent Cadaver from the Undead Horde. If I get the epic or higher, I will read the kit. Number 2. That's another rare. That's Gnarhole from the Skinwalkers. Number 3. Another rare. That's Vagabond in front of Shadowkins. Next. Another rare. That's Acolyte from the Knight Reverend. Next. Another rare. Death Chanter from the Orcs. Next. Another rare. Apothecary. That's one of the best rares from the High Elves. Next. Another rare. We got Steelbower from the Dark Elves. Next. We got Marked from the Barbarians. Next. Another rare. Distant Doomstrider from the Barbarians. Next. Another rare. Adjudicator from the High Elves. 2 left. To see if we can get any epics. We got an epic. And that's Woad Patent from the Barbarians. Let's read her kit. Her A1 is a cross-up. Attack one enemies at 2 times. Has a 25% chance of placing a block active skill debuff 1 turn. Hook up to a 30% chance of placing block active skills. Her A2, Undying Fury, fully heals this champion, places a 30% reflect damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. When ascended, remove all debuffs from this champion and 1 random debuff from all allies. Then heal this champion by 100% of their max HP and heal all allies equal to 50% of the surplus heal. Afterwards, places a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Then grants this champion an extra turn. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown. And array 3. Attack one enemy has a 75% chance of placing block active skill debuff for 2 turns. Book up to 100% and a 3-turn cooldown. And the last Ancient Shard. We are opening now. Rare. That's Risk Arm from the Bannerlords. Now we're just gonna release some rares into the vault. And start on our 9 void shards. Number 1. We got a rare Inceptor from the High Elves, not the champion we want. Number 2. Another rare, and that's Hellhound from the Demon's Spawn. He's a good rare, one of the best rares for farming campaign. Number 3, another rare. That's Huntress from the Orcs. Also from the for the Broadma fusion. Number 4. Ooh, we got an epic. That's Broodar from the Ogren tribes. Let's read his kit. He's able to flaming pig stickers. Attack one enemy has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Has a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn instead when counterattacking with this skill. Book down to a 45% chance for decreased speed and the stun. His A2, Attack all enemies has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. Book down to a 3 turn cooldown. And 5, 10, 15, 25, 20, 25. So a 70% chance of placing provoke. And an 80% chance of placing 100% chance of a 95% chance of placing the increased defense. Nope, it's a 50% chance. It's a 75% chance of placing both provoke and increased defense. His A3 Giant Stain places a 25% strengthened buff and a 15% contingency buff on all allies for 2 turns. Book down to a 4 turn cooldown. His passive, Trash Talk, receives 20% less damage where enemy under-provoke debuffs, has a 25% chance of 25% chance of counterattacking when an enemy under a provoke debuffs attack either this champion or an ally. Book up to 50% chance of counterattack. And he gets increased allied defense in Doom Tower battles by 30%. Number 5. Another rare. And that's Daywalker from the Night Reverend. Not the rare we want. Next. Another rare. Still not the one we want. Air Blaster from the Undead Horde. Next. Another rare. That's Belloware. Also one of the best rares to grind to grind campaign with. Next. Ooh, we got a legendary. We got Supreme Gaelec. Nice. That's not what I expected. Let's read Supreme Gaelec's kit. Explorer of Skills is A1. Attack all the enemies has a 50% chance of placing a 25% weakness debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. Book up to a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken. Is A2 Puttersinsk. Attack all enemies has a 75% chance of placing 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted. Also to increase the duration of all enemies debuff by 1 turn. This effect can also not be resisted. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown and a 100% chance of placing 3 potions. 3-5% poisons. Is A3. We get only AoEs. Attack all enemies. Nice. Attack all enemies. Arcane Havoc. Attack all enemies. Place a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns before attacking. Also have a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. Fill this champion's turn meter by 10% for each decreased resisted debuff placed by this skill. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown and 75% chance of placing increased attack and a 100% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance. So nice. And his passive, degrade, decreases target's attack, crit rate, and critical damage by 3% for each poison debuff on them. If there are multiple champions on DC with this skill, only one will activate. This skill will not activate on duplicate copies of the champion if the particular champion is dead. So, but I'm happy with a Supreme Gaelic. Let's do the last Void Shard. That's a rare. And we get Sunken Sentinel as the last one. Now we only need 3 of the Sunken Sentinel, but we can't get any more of those now. So now we need to be lucky with the Secret Charge or the Primal Charge to get 1 epic, or we can't do the fusion. We're going to, as I said, I'm going to do the Primal Charge at last because we have 2x chance on epic, legendary, or mythical. So we are going to for the 5 Secret Charge now, and we need 1. I hope we get the epic now. But since we will get lucky on the Void Shard, I don't know if we will get it. Let's start with number 1. And that's an epic. And that's Warden from the Dark Elves. Let's read his kit. Death Mark. Attack one enemy has a 40% chance of placing a 50% weakness debuff for 1 turn. Damage inflicted by proportional to his defense. Book down to 10, 20, 40, 60. 100% chance of placing us a 15% weakened. Rending Flames. A 5-turn cooldown. Attack all enemies. Has a 50% chance of placing 25% decreased debuff for 2 turns, placing a 30% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, damage inflicted by promotion of the defense. It booked down to a 4-turn cooldown and a 75% chance of placing decreased attack and increased defense. It's A3. Wall of Thorns. Attack all enemies 1 time. Places a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. It's obviously a 6-turn cooldown. Why not? And his passive, his aura, increase ally HP in arena battles by 30%. Next, we got the epic. Not the epic we want. Defile Defiled Sinner from the Undead Horde. Let's read his kit. Attack one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns before attacking. If 5 or more enemies are alive, does the following attack instead. Attack all enemies, placing a 25 increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns before attacking. He's a 2. Ripped of Slaughter. Attack one enemy. It's a 4-turn cooldown. When ascended, attack one enemy. Then attack all enemies inflicted damage equal to 50% of their max if the first hit kills an enemy. The second hit cannot be critical. It's booked down to a 3-turn cooldown. And is A3. Corrosive Smog. Attack all enemies. Damage increases by 10% for each enemy alive. Stack up to 100%. Booked out a 5-turn cooldown. Next, we got another epic. Not the epic we want. We got Sanguina from the Secret Order. She's a good. I'm not complaining, but it's not the epic we want. We want the Argonite epic, but let's read her kit. Red Punishment. Attack one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of decreasing the duration of 2 randoms buff on the target by 1 turn. Book up to a 30% chance of decreasing the duration of 2 random buff in the target by 1. Her A2, Holy Blood, places a block buff on all allies for 1 turn and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns, booked down to a 3-turn cooldown. Her A3 is a 5-turn cooldown. Attack one enemy has a 75% chance of transferring all debuffs from this champion to the target. Remove all debuffs from all allies except this champion. Book up to 100% and a 4-turn cooldown. And her aura. Increase ally attack in Doom Tower battle by 55%. Number 4. Epic. Not the epic we want. That's an epic from another fusion. Not the fusion we have. We got Garnock's Black Horn in from the Skinwalkers. Let's read his hit, then we're gonna do some space, because we can't claim anymore. Attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 1 turn. But we'll book up to a 50% chance of placing decreased speed. Is A2 means to an end. Place a 50% allied protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places a counter-attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown instead of 6. Bullish Fighter. It's a 5-turn cooldown. Attack all enemies. Has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted if this champion's defense is lower than the target. Places a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Book up to a 4-turn cooldown and a 75% chance of placing provoke and a 55% of placing reflect damage. And his passive, Loaded Pariah. Whenever an enemy attacks an ally under ally protection buff, has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff on the target for 1 turn. And his aura, increase ally defense in faction trips by 30%. Now we're just gonna do some molting. Let's do the rears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Not you. 8, 9, 10. Those 10. What? Oh. No, only those. 6. And this one to the vault. Not reserve vault. He wasn't going to the reserve vault. Where did he go? Oh, did he go with? Oh, yeah, he's there. Or he's there. And the last secret shard. We got an epic, and it's not the epic we want. Canoness from the Secret Order. She's defense champion. Let's read her kit. Lead off the shards. Attack one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 25% increased attack buff on random allies for 2 turns. When ascended, attack one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 50% increased attack buff on a random allies for 2 turns. Book up to 60% chance. Her A2, Blind Assault, attack one enemy has an 80% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff and a leash debuff on the target for 2 turns. This attack is always critical. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown and a 100% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack and leech. Her A3, place a 50% ally protection buff on the target for 2 turns and a 60% increased defense buff on the target on this champion for 2 turns. Also place a 50% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. Book down to a 2-turn cooldown. Her aura is increased ally speed in faction creep by 20%. That's all the secret shards. Now we are going to see, are we getting any epic? Are we getting the right epic? Or are we getting a mythical? I'm happy if I get a mythical, for that's better than any fusion champion I got. So let's try and see if these 4 can give us something. Number 1, start with an epic, and it's Furgan Isabel from the dwarves. Not the epic we want, but she's a good epic. Rayan, Fry Shot, attack one enemy, has a 50% chance of decreasing the duration of a bomb debuff by 1 turn. Also has a 25% chance of placing a bomb debuff on a random enemy for 1 turn, instantly detonating the bomb debuff placed on that random enemy. All bomb debuff places by this champion, this skill on enemies whose max HP is higher than 20,000 will deal 20% more damage. Her A2, Trace Slugs, attack one enemy 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing 2 bombs debuff for the debuff that detonate after 2 turns. The second hit has a 50% chance of applying a debuff spread effect, taking 1 bomb debuff and placing it on all other enemies. All bomb debuff placed by this skill enemy will lose max ability over 2000 will deal 50% more damage. Book up to a 4-turn cooldown and a 100% chance of placing 2 bombs. Her A3, Erupt Volley. Attack all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn if weakened was placed on all enemies by this skill. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown. And a 100% chance of placing a 25% weakened. And her passive, Explosive Phoenix, places a revive on death buff on this champion for 2 turns when an enemy dies from a bomb debuff. And her aura is increased ally accuracy in all battles by 40%. Number 2. That's a rare. And that's Petrify Rockroot from the Demon Spawn. Number 3. That's Mygrave Greenhawk from the Silver Watchers. And last chance for a mythical or Deoxin from Argonites. So, let's see. That's an epic. And that Druidon the Runic. It's a good epic. Don't get me wrong, but not the epic one. So, that concludes. I'm going to read this kit afterward, but that conclude. I can't get the fusion. I have no chance. I need 3 more rares or one of the epics, and I don't have any shards to get them on. So, we won't get the fusion. But we got a legendary on this charge opening, so I'm happy with that, and it's a great epic, or a great legendary. Druidon the Runic is A1. Lootstone Claw. Attack one enemy has a 50% chance of removing one random debuff from all allies. Book up to a 60% chance of removing one random debuff. He's A2. Attack all enemies. Places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. Equal by 50% of this champion's max HP. It increases the duration of all buff on all allies by 1 turn. Book up to a 35% of this champion's max HP. The shield, still the 4-turn cooldown. Is A3. Lure of Fools. Place a taunt buff on this champion for 1 turn. Also places a 25% strengthen buff and a counter-attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. And his passive, increase allies defense in all battles by 20%. But that's all she wrote. We did get one of the 4 rares we needed, but we didn't get any more. Let's just see how we are doing in the champion chase. We did get some points then. $100 energy, 1 rare book, a 4-star chicken, 100 points for the Titan event, and 100 epic relic materials. So not a bad one. Just for the fun of it, we're going to buy all the champions. We only got 1 though. I'm gonna end the record for the shard opening now. everybody that watches this video, push like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. And I will see you on the next shard opening. Good night. So now we're going to just check the class and quest. We did all the quests. Let's check all the champions we got. We got Riskram from the Bannerlords. He was the only new of all the Bannerlords we got. From the High Elves, we got Apothecary and Interceptor in the rare category. From the Secret Order, we got Sanguina, and that's that. Yeah, we got one more. Yeah, we got Contiuing too. And the Barbarian, from the Barbarian tribes, we got Road Painted. And we got Doomstrider. That was the only new ones there. From the Ogrins, we got Hudra, Leprundar, and we got Bellower. From the Skinwalkers, we got Garnarox and John Narnhorn. From the Orcs, we got Death Chanter. And from the Demon Spawns, we got Petrifier and Fellhound. From the Undead Horde, we got Corpulent Cadaver and Airblaster. From the Night Reverence, let's check on Kale last. We got Acolyte. From the Dwarves, we got Isabel. And from the Silver Watchers, we got Dudan and Morgrave. And from Dark Elves, we got Supreme Kelek. And we got Warden. And we got Steelbower. And that's all that. And that's all what we got on that. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm sorry again about the lack of playtime in the beginning of the video, but that's just how it is when your wife needs help. I hope you all enjoyed the shard opening. Pretty bad we didn't get this one. Or should I say this one? So we could fuse pelops. We just have to wait and see if we can pull them later. But that's all. I will be back next Wednesday with another stream on this account, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and will push like, subscribe, share, comments, and all that. It will only help me grow as a content creator. So I will see you on the next one. Later, Raiders, and good night, good morning, good evening, or wherever the timeline are where you are. And I will see you on the next one.